we are seeing this big disconnect when it comes to production capacity. But at the same time, given this lockdown across the world, we have seen more panic buyers trying to stock up on meat supplies. So how is your industry dealing with the impact of COVID-19?
Good question, and I thank you for the opportunity to be on the call here this afternoon. The North American market is such an integrated marketplace, so when one hurts, we see it very easily the other one hurts as well. So as you mentioned, there's significant amount of closures happening in the United States, and that puts pressure on, naturally, our neighbors to the south, but it also puts significant pressure on those who depend on some of those markets. So that would be for the live animals that are shipped from Canada into the U.S., that really creates a zero-value marketplace right now, which is devastating for producers. Here in Canada, we have some challenge with some processing plants, but we also have a segment of our processing that is still going strong. The employees are healthy, and that's a blessing. But we also know we're on a very slippery slope right now in regards to dealing with, number one, the animals on our farms, and also the fact that all of this will create a shortage at the retail level.
Of course, when it comes to hurting, it affects both of you. But when it comes to relief aid, especially here in the U.S., how does that disadvantage Canadian producers in a way?
Right. Well, disadvantaged, there's always challenges from one country to the next. But I just will reiterate how we've met with our federal government numerous times. We have heard from the government of Canada that agriculture is an essential service for Canadians. We've also heard that food security is a critical priority for them as well. So now we've heard the words, and now we're looking for action in regards to helping us mitigate the big challenges that we're being faced with right now.
So what's happening to the livestock glut that you're seeing right now? Because we have heard reports of more hogs having to be euthanized because there's really no production capacity at the moment. So is that what you're doing? How are you euthanizing the pigs? And does this mean that it's also just mature pigs or also piglets?
Right. So I do want to reiterate that the situation of oversupply right now isn't because of oversupply. It would be because of the supply chain mechanism that is weakening when processing plants do close or when they do shut down. So yes, unfortunately, when it's a tough day when producers for years and years they get up in the morning and they go to look after their livestock. It's a very tough day when the next morning they have to go into the farm and to determine euthanizing or having even that conversation is actually quite of a strain for a stock person. So in Canada, there in Eastern Maritimes, there was a farm that needed to euthanize fully grown animals ready for the marketplace. So pigs ready to be converted into pork. Some had to get euthanized there, and it was a dark day for that producer. Throughout our country here as well, there are situations where euthanizing is being discussed of. Some euthanizing is occurring. I know within 20 kilometers of where I am, there's a producer that's planning to euthanize 3,000 little pigs this week. And it's a horrific topic, and it's something that we just don't want to do, and we just don't know how else to deal with this because of the processing plant challenge. So if you could imagine a few of these stories that I'm mentioning, what's occurring in our country, imagine the horrific scenes that are occurring in the United States when their current problem is so significantly more than us. So our hearts really go out to our American neighbors that are going through such a deep, dark time. And right now, our times here are significantly challenging as well. And our hope and prayer is that throughout short period of time, things can get better versus getting worse, because when it gets worse, it gets very, very dark on farms across our country.
Here in the U.S., we continue to see infections just spreading in these meat processing plants. What are you seeing in Canada, and what are you doing in order to help these working conditions where really social distancing is not an option?
Right. So pork plants are ensuring that all plants actually, when they're ensuring here where the staff come to work, I know processing plants are asking them the questions, the very important questions about where have you been and where have the people been that you've been in contact with. So they answer questions. They for sure get an understanding if the people are healthy in regards to getting a temperature check and so on. That really mitigates the risk of having employees at processing plants get ill. And that's a great filter, a pre-filter for all the staff before they're able to go into the plants to answer these pertinent questions. And we just hope that continues so that we are able to keep a healthy workforce here. And again, there's a lot of personal protective equipment that is being offered. As you know, a lot of plants have almost shoulder-to-shoulder contact, so that's been changed where there's less people within a certain period of space, but that also puts a challenge on the rate of proficiency within the plant.